Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. We hope you all had a good week. We've got special guests tonight. We'll save them and introduce them to you last because that's the way we like to honor our special people. So, Scotsman, how was your week, brother?
Oh man, good to be here. Good to see you on the side chat. My week was busy, steady. Man, work was all kinds of up and down. Feeling a little bit better today, and I'm hoping I can get out tomorrow and shoot my own damn freaking challenge that I put out there. So hopefully we can do that. But good to be here. Good to see everyone out there. And I'm excited for tonight because, guys, this is huge. We got lots of folks out in our community who are bringing out various different challenges, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And these challenges are designed to bring everyone together and get you guys out there shooting and having fun. So I'm excited and good to be here. Bobby, what you got, brother?
Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming. We got almost 30 people out there already. Oh, we actually jumped up to nearly 40 people. Wow, look at the people rolling in. This is awesome. I had a really good week. I was busy all week. I was helping out a friend with some stuff around her house. It was a really good time. So looking forward to chatting with our guest tonight. I talk about 22 challenges and the like, probably a lot of other related stuff. So I'm looking forward to this. So, Gene, how was your week?
My week was busy as usual. My boss had me running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I primed so much brass, 223, 556, same thing, 9mm, 300 blackout. I stayed busy in front of those priming machines all week. Tired, ready for the weekend. Just glad to be here tonight. Thanks for having me. And how about you, Six?
All right. I had a pretty good week. Monday, Tuesday, I took vacation and did some bunch of shooting. That's what I did. And good work week. So I'm ready for the weekend, though. These 3-day work weeks, they wear you out. How about you here, Billy?
Oh, brother, man, I'm doing finer than frogs here. Oh, man, we finally got some good weather. I went out a few days ago to the range. Didn't take no cameras, nothing, just some rifles. And I shot for like 2 hours and just really enjoyed myself. And, oh, man, yeah, it's been great. Good weather here, no doubt about it. So, thank you very much for having me. A great way to start off a Friday night. So, Andy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Busy week as usual. Did a lot of reloading. And getting ready to do some casting and some more zinc stuff because I kind of used up all my Type 3 wad cutters. I only got about 80 left. So I got to make a few thousand of those again. And other than that, weather's been okay. Nothing special. A little cloudy. Not too hot, only low 70s, cooler at night. So it's been good.
Very good. Thank y'all for being here. We want to introduce our special guest tonight. We got Mr. Revolver Guy with us and Kentucky Rimfire and Hobbies. So we'll let Mr. Revolver Guy go first. How was your week, sir?
Fantastic week, man. It was fantastic week, Jamie. This is sort of like coming home for me. I've been looking forward to this. My first time ever online. I don't know if the rest of the crew knows this, but I know the Scotsman knows it. My first time ever online in front of a camera like this was with you fellows many years ago, and you guys helped encourage me to do what I do today. So first off, hats off to you fellas, and thank you for that. But yeah, everything's been going pretty good. I've got family, really close family, sisters, father in Florida, so they're dealing with hurricane stuff. But you know what? God is good, man, and nobody's hurt. Everybody's together. And so we'll deal with the damage and all that stuff as it comes along. But I tell you what, I'm blessed, man, and glad to be here with everybody except for that redhead.
And we'll get to him in just a second. I want to take just a second, if I can, to praise God for protecting us through what was possibly a catastrophic and unsurvivable event. And I did a lot of praying yesterday. You guys that know me know that, and there's been so many that reached out to me, letting me know that they were praying for us and all of us that were in the path of the storm. And guys, I used to go fishing down at a little fishing village called Steenhatchee, Florida. And if any of y'all are familiar with Steenhatchee, it was right at the eye, and it was like on the western wall of the eye. And I've not been able to see how bad they were tore up, but the eye of the storm went from like Steenhatchee to Cedar Key, and none of these things are perfect, but they're talking about. They said that the eye of that storm was somewhere between 35 and 50 miles wide. This was a absolutely huge storm, and I want to thank all you guys that said prayers for us. But we're 6 hours inland, and our hearts go out to those that were right there in the heart of the eye of the storm. And Mr. Revolver Guy will certainly be praying for your family and your sisters and Dad and all those guys and all those people that were there. And we're thankful that you're here, and we're thankful that your redheaded buddy sitting next to you is here as well, Mr. Kentucky Rimfire and Hobbies. How are you doing, sir? Thanks for being here.
Good evening, guys. I'm thankful to be here. I want to add to that just a little bit. Pray for the workers that have went south to help out in this time. Sometimes that could have been me, but just so happens I'm on a bid job with a deadline, so my crew didn't get to go. And for those of you who don't know, I work in power line. I build transmission power lines, so I'm staying home this time. But we got a lot of guys down there that's putting their boots to the ground, so remember those. And I started this YouTube venture because of this guy right here. Shooting his challenges and watching his videos, and he's mentored me a little bit on my videoing and made some recommendations, and it's all went from there. And I used to think I got into rimfire to shoot the cheap side of firearms, but this rabbit hole I went down, ain't nothing cheap about it.
No, there ain't.
Yeah, that's what amazes me. There's Mr. Joe Ray, how you doing, Cyclops? Good to see you out there, brother. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Joe. How you doing, brother?
And you can come on the panel anytime you want to, just so as you know. But yeah, I think just for a second, and then I'm going to let Jailbird up there take over. This is more his cup of tea than mine, so we'll let him interview the two of you guys and Scotsman. But for those of you that don't know, when a storm like this hits, they call all available linemen out to help get the power back on. These people are down there without power. Some of them have to have power to sustain their lives with different contraptions that they need to just sustain their life. And we thank all you guys that are linemen who go down in the midst of those storms, and it's not a comfortable thing. It's not, but we're thankful for those who do go, and we're thankful that we've got special guests tonight, and that we all came through the storm okay. And with that, I'll let Scotsman and CW take over, and I'll just sit back here and mash buttons, which is what I do best. And y'all can ask the questions that you want.
Including the up arrow?
I've got a mouse.
So thanks for joining us, guys. It's great to see you. It's going to be awesome to talk about this stuff because we get to watch you doing the challenge videos, but now we can get you firsthand and get talking about things. So I know there's a couple of guys that really seem to be taking off with this. That really seem to be releasing lots and lots of these challenges. And of course, you're one, Elijah. And I wondered where you started and what was your drive to start this kind of thing. What happened? Where did it start?
Well, as far as the challenges, I was really looking for something that would like inspire everybody, right? And it's like, okay, 22, one of the cheaper things to shoot is my buddy Kentucky Rimfire said, it ain't the cheapest depending on how far down in the rabbit hole you go. But it really kind of started with just trying to get everybody out to the range. Because you know why, fellas? I'm flustered. I'm frustrated. I serve all my young life serving this great nation in the United States Marine Corps. And I'm flustered with, the view that everybody that owns a firearm is a bad person. Or firearms or just range time is just for training and being tactical and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, well, I did that for 20 years of my life. I know how to do that. Is there something else that I can give back being outside of the uniform? And so me and my family, we have this thing, to be honest with you, we have this thing where we go out and just kind of shoot and have competition against one another. And it started from there. It started as a family event, going out to the range with each other. Started with pistols, then the rimfire stuff kind of kicked into high gear, and it just went from there. But it really is about trying to get everyone to see people like us. We put on our pants the same way that others do, and we all are. We're the same, and that's. I think that's what really kind of scratches my itch. I'm kind of keeping up the fight, but not wearing the uniform anymore. So I still have something in the fight and still giving something back, almost every day, every weekend, or every chance I get out when I'm not on the job, without donning that uniform. And that's kind of where it started, JB.
Good deal. Good deal. So, ideas. Do you obviously this last challenge you come up with is with Scotsman. Scotsman had an idea, and you guys, got together and polished it up and released a pretty fun challenge. I haven't gotten my target yet, but I'm gonna be shooting it pretty soon, just like Jason and the rest of us. I'm sure Six didn't you do a video on one today?
I released one this morning, and I got one coming up Sunday morning.
Yeah, I didn't watch it yet. I've been a little preoccupied, but yeah, I'm anxious to shoot it. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like I know Chad shot it there. I saw you rehearsed 2 or 3. Maybe the third one is the one you almost aced it, or you did ace it.
Move on. Don't nobody care about Chad.
Oh, here we go, folks. Here we go.
Beat that thing to death. No, but first and foremost, but before Chad Kentucky Rimfire jumps in here, guys, all the praise, quite frankly, goes to the Almighty. But Mr. Scotsman, he contacted me. We've known each other for quite some time, and he contacted me with an idea. And by the way, we're open to ideas. And he contacted me with an idea and said, "Hey, let's do something. Let's take it up a notch. Let's take it up a notch. Even do something better than good. I like what you're doing, but let's take it up a notch. How can we do that?" And then he and I got conversating back and forth about a charity. Okay, what charities? How do we do it? And all that kind of stuff. And I got figuring it out and exchanged some targets with him. Hey, what do you think about this one? Hey, what do you think about this one? And, quite frankly, from a lot of folks on YouTube, I've got quite a few people that have emailed me and said the challenge is easy. And I continue to remind them that the challenge is supposed to inspire. Didn't want to make it too easy, but it's supposed to inspire everyone to get engaged. And it is also free. And so we decided, Scotsman and I, that we were going to do this thing after, the summer challenge, the Captain America Summer Challenge. And we went into this thing together. He agreed that he was going to give so much. I agreed that I was going to give so much just to kick it off. And I tell you what, man, I can't not thank the Range fans, you fellas, good friends, enough. Because, my intent was to raise $250. And I think within the first 2 hours, we were above $250. And it's all for a great cause. It's all for St. Jude's Children's Hospital research. We all know what St. Jude's is about. Those diseases that grip our children for one reason or another, something that we don't have answers to. But if I can give a hand there, I sure will. And then also kind of Pink Fun kind of came from nowhere. Jamie, get ready to the beat button, maybe. But the the Pink Funds came from nowhere. My wife, I was talking about it with my wife, with Miss Leo, and she said, I can't believe you boys aren't going to protect the Bouncing Betties. And the first thing, where I come from, I mean, I know what a Bouncing Betty is, and it don't mean no good to anybody. It's not good for anyone. What the devil is she talking about? And she made a gesture in the upper part of her torso, and I said, oh yeah, okay, because her and I donate, when we have the available funding to that fund, and it's like, yeah, let's add two, and we'll split it up and give it out. But all credit due to Scotsman. It really is his idea, and I'm just trying to get as many people engaged as I can.
October is that month.
I threw it up in the side chat, folks, but we're almost to $1,200. We're like $4 away from $1,200.
That's awesome.
And that's just a testament to you guys. Absolute testament to you guys. When Elijah sent me the link to the GoFundMe, so many folks had already been on there and jumped in and donated. And I'm like, dude, this is awesome. Absolutely freaking awesome. When I originally reached out to him with the Target idea, it was just for the Target idea, and we went back and forth, like you said, and then we came up with, hey, let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it a little bit more for the community. Let's make it something more. And I loved that idea. Absolutely loved it. And so this is what we came up with. And, he gives me props. I give him props, man. Really, absolutely. It's huge. It's awesome. And it's always good seeing everyone come together, hanging out, having fun. And again, one of the big thing is get out there and shoot, folks. Have fun with the target. Like you said, some folks are saying it's an easy target. Well, technically, yes, it's slightly easy on the easier level, but the round count is what gets you. Because you think you got it, and then bam, you get that one that just goes off just a little bit, and it throws you all off, and next thing you know, you're screaming to high heaven about the damn redhead.
Good stuff for sure. So let's hear from Chad about that fancy target he shot.
Well, I just want to start off by saying that you guys all know that I got acquainted with you guys when you were making your round one. Well, I was right at the tail end of round one for the fundraiser for Scotsman, and I sat on your live feed that night and watched all the giveaways, and I was really impressed with what you guys had done for your fellow individual that you hang out with on a weekly basis here on live feed, and that's awesome. I mean, even in my church, that's what drives me is getting involved in things that's helping others, the community, and this challenge that you guys have put together. I told Elijah when it first started, I was like, we're going to pass 250 fast. And we did. And it's going to keep growing. But as far as the difficulty of the target goes, I'll relate this to work. I say at work, if you set an unattainable goal, you'll lose people. So there's no sense in making them all so hard that they can't be done. Look at the Captain America challenge. I've never shot a perfect on it. I just got lucky one time, and I may never shoot it perfect again. But I'm glad I did, and I seen another one today that was also shot perfect. I believe it was a Bagar B14. But that's that's my deal here, is just to encourage people to get out here and get part of this, because since I've started YouTube, and I've gained so many resourceful sources, friends, all you guys here on the panel, people in the side chat that I chat with daily. And that's what it's all about for me. Is just I've made a lot of new friends, and I consider some of you to be pretty close friends. So
ain't it great? Yep. Absolutely. You know, we do have our complaints about YouTube every once in a while, but none of us would be here right now if it wasn't for them. So we owe them a debt of gratitude for that. It's absolutely what you said. You know, I've made friends that I never would have known, and some really, really close and good ones. And a couple of them are sitting right here in this panel. So, yeah, very, very grateful. And it's all through Jesus. We know it.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things. You know, we all gripe about YouTube back and forth here and there with the stuff we got to deal with. But at the end of the day, none of us would know each other if it wasn't for that. And you know, Mr. Revolver guy was saying earlier, you know, he came on years ago with us, and I remember him coming on with us years ago, and he was like, I don't know. And it's like, dude, just get out and do it, man. Just get out and do it. You know, I'm not a big fan of being behind the camera, but hey, you know, you get used to it, and you just do it, man, and just have fun with it. You know, one of the big things that I like with him, for example, is he likes to poke fun at folks up there because they're always going on about how far are you shooting from. Guys, we're at the 50-yard line. Literally, it doesn't change. We're at the 50-yard line. Period.
50.
I've started to get those comments pretty regular myself. You didn't mention how far you're shooting.
So, you know, we have fun with it, but most importantly, as we're having fun with it, we're all coming together. We're all making friends. And the more we keep doing this, the more we show YouTube that we're not going to give in to them. We're not going to sit back. We're going to keep on fighting, and we're going to keep showing, hey, this is what America is about. This is what America was founded on. And that's how it's got to be. So don't give in. Don't give up the fight. Keep fighting. Keep pushing. And make friends. Have fun. Get out and shoot, man.
Yeah.
I love when the questions come in and they say, well, what ammo was you shooting, or how far was you shooting? And you go back and watch your own video. I'm pretty sure I said that in there. Yeah. But they don't watch the whole video, or that didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
Now, okay, you need to tell them that you're shooting your perfectly matched and balanced reloads.
So I know. I don't think Andy's shot any of these. Are you intended on doing any, Andy? You going to try some?
I will, but I'm going to wind up doing it with a different gun just to shoot.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a number like Six does them with an air gun, and Nibs has done them, and who else has done them? Down in Texas, he's done them. Chris
Lang.
So
yeah,
a couple of folks did reach out and ask me if there were certain calibers that had to be this, that, the other. Look, the point of it is, guys, is technically for the challenge, it needs to be either rimfire or air rifle or whatever. But and what we're trying to do, we just want you to get up and shoot and have fun with it. So technically, no, there are no caliber specific requirements. As far as the actual challenge and being on leaderboards, then yes, there are going to be specific requirements when it comes to being on the leaderboards. But just to get out and shoot it, no, there's no specific requirements.
So I can't use my 12 gauge and get on the leaderboard.
number 4, number 4 bucks.
You probably got to get it back from Cooter first.
That's true.
Yeah, come on, hillbilly. Shotguns and tannerite don't count, buddy.
I'm waiting on my High Point perfectly matched 22 long rifle. So
I know you said you're going to be shooting a few, Mike. You got some coming up soon, or have you shot any yet?
yeah, actually, I shot one here a while back that somebody had put up. I think a Boomstick had put it up, and I plan on doing some more. I plan on doing this one, and actually been working on one coming out on my own. And actually, I have a little. I mean, if you watch my channel, and if I was going to do a challenge, the only way you could appreciate that is if it included hard seltzer. So we're working on one that has to do with hard seltzer, but that's for later on one of these days, coming up. But I'm really excited about doing this because I think it's a great deal you guys are doing. It's going to be fun, and yeah, I might even actually break out the old bold action Marlin. Try to maybe even see what an old school, can do. So. Yeah, I'm excited.
I shoot my squirrel quite a bit. I've been concentrating more on the Ruger Precision because I've been throwing parts at it. But that darn Ruger squirrel, that damn Marlin squirrel, that can shoot. That can really shoot.
That's what I shoot is that Marlin 20.
Yep.
It's nothing fancy about it.
Yeah, and you've made a couple of challenges too. 6. You've got a couple of them out there.
Yeah, I've got 3 of them out there.
Yeah, and they're a lot of fun.
And
What
that's
about
one of
Gene
the
over
big
there?
things, guys. It doesn't have to
Gene?
be fancy. Don't think you have to have these fancy rifles or all this other stuff. It can be the most basic of basic things. There's different classes. We have what do we have, Elijah? We have what?
So you got the open class. We all kind of call that open or unlimited. You got the factory class, so no modifications to it at all. You have a sportsman's class where you use power less than 9. Factory, open, sportsman. You have the vintage class. I'm surprised old Chad didn't speak up there. You have the vintage class that a lot of us shoot in. But the thing is like, again, Scotsman said it time and time again here tonight. It's just about getting out and shoot. We don't care what you bring. We don't care what you bring. Bring what you got. Shoot them, have fun, and if you can, fellas, introduce a new shooter. Bring somebody new with you.
Yeah,
right? If you can, bring somebody new with you and get them out having a little fun, and hopefully they adopt this thing, this pastime of shooting like we all enjoy it. Hopefully they start to enjoy it because I tell you what, again, for me, it's about giving back after hanging up my uniform. We're going to need somebody to carry that torch for us in the future when we can no longer carry that.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, but yeah, Scotsman hit the nail on the head, fellas. Bring what you got. It don't matter.
So we've got a sighting out there. Gene, you want to give us a countdown?
Yes, sir. How about in 3, 2, 1?
Hey, Mario! The battle bean
West Coast weirdo
is here. So, while we're at a standstill right here, it's time for us to call out the side chat. I'm showing we have 57 folks out there watching.
Yes, that's what I see.
Let's type in 22, and we'll call your name out on TV.
So I will say that the challenges sharpens my skills for not only rimfire but centerfire. The more I shoot, the better I get at all aspects. But I shoot twice a month at the USBR competition targets, and my overall scores have improved vastly since shooting challenge targets because it's just practice. So
Great point. Let me call out all these names. CW was in first, and he's on the panel. And in the side chat, Kentucky Rimfire and Hobbies was second. He's also on the panel and in the side chat. So is Six Shooter Texan. So is Reloading from the Hot Pot. We got GGW Outdoors out there, Paul Loud, Edward Petty, Andre D'Angelo, Cam to Ride. That's a new name for me. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. We got Glenn Davis, Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy, Tactical Fud, Mario Mosen's out there, Trees of Blowing is out there, Gizzard Gary, Tim S, Richard B, MCK. Got to slow me down and spell it out. Pistol Pete's out there, Duffer 426, Glenn Davis, M Gabriel, 67 Rebel SST AMC, James Pollard, Kyle is out there, Hillbilly Up, Ron 2A Matters, Papa's Place, the Scotsman, and Hillbilly are both on the panel, as y'all can see. Okay. Fuku YT is out there.
That's John.
He's trying to mess me up really bad. Oh, one guy. There's Meathead. Thanks for being here. MCK did it again. There's Vanessa Kitty is out there. Gunpowder Beauty is out there. And Reloading from the Hot Pot's on the panel. Redneck Prepper is out there. Walter Viejo is out there. G23 is out there. And I think that's everybody.
All right. So
I heard you
while
call
we have
me
these guys on here, if you guys have any questions for any of us, please throw them out in the side chat. Maybe you want to know how Mr. Revolver Guy came up with all these different ideas for challenges and stuff over the years. Throw some of that stuff out there and let us know. Ask us some questions. He's been doing this for quite some time. And I kind of got separated for a little bit there. And then just happened to kind of stumble across him again. And as soon as I commented, he's like, dude, I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm like, hey, man, shit, here we go, and we got right off back on the old foot. So, and here we are doing this together, and I'm glad we're doing this together. So, yeah, guys, you got questions for us, let us know. Throw them out there. Hell, if you have ideas for a challenge, throw them out there, We'd be happy to work with anyone out there to bring up another challenge and bring those out. Because, again, it's all about getting folks out shooting and having fun, getting new people to the range and having fun with those folks as well, and encouraging the next generation.
Yeah, I heard Jamie call out my buddy Cam. He's out there. I know why he showed up tonight. Fellas, he saw me, for those of you that may not have seen it, a Super Burno SAA 2500. Supposedly only somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000 of those things were made. Well, he's got a super exclusive, and well, I don't know if Kentucky Rimfire or Cam, I don't know which one's the worst, but man, them fellows ride me hard. He shot one with a super exclusive Burno here, and I plan to show a little something of that on the channel coming up soon. So I got to get that 2,500 back out and see if I can compete with him. But to Chad's point, Kentucky Rimfire's point, fellas, about improving your scores, getting better, and the foundation of shooting and itself, like, it absolutely helps me. Yes, I have a lot of fun with it, but it absolutely helps me. And also, I truly believe it sharpens the mental game. Because if you saw that last video, Chad I let him get in my head so bad. I shot the pennies in reverse, and I didn't even know that until, I posted the video and people started commenting, man, you're disqualified. You shot those. And so some of it's about paying attention to the instructions. So the challenge might look easy from a target perspective, but I clearly called out my own instructions. You shoot that thing top to bottom, left to right, and I shot those pennies right to left, which really is a disqualification. So I got to take my name off the leaderboard. Didn't even recognize it. But yes, you have fun, but I think there is some value to not only sharpening your skill, but sharpening the mental game of shooting also.
Yeah, when I saw you get down to the pennies, I'm looking over at the left penny and I don't see anything hit the penny, and I'm like, wait a second. And then it hits the right penny, and I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm like, I'm not gonna call him out. I'll wait for someone else to call him out.
It didn't take long, Scotsman. It didn't take long, man. I started taking a beating quick.
Technically, since you shot the wrong penny, you just deduct that penny. So you deduct 5 points from your score.
If he had gone back to the left and went to the left and went to the right, but he didn't. He kept going left.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Scotsman on that one. I think it's a DQ because I went right to left, and I clearly called out you got to go top to bottom, left to right. But that's part of the fun. You get the instructions. It's about sharpening the game. It really is. It really is a lot of fun. But the Scotsman stated, fellas, if you guys have something that you want to get up on the website, by the way, that website is mine, solely mine. I do get emails where folks say, "Hey, man, you haven't posted." Some days for me and what I do for a living to support my family, some of those days are, can go from 10-hour days, usually nothing less of 10-hour days, up to 16-hour days. I'm not crying because I'm blessed to be doing what I'm doing, but I don't get to the emails every day and don't get the scores up. But I tell you what, if you guys have some thoughts, if the people over in the chat section have some ideas that they want to share and get something going like that, just email me, mrrevolverguy@dayattherange.com, and we can get something going.
Well, that's a good thing. You get as many redos as you want.
And that's it. You can take as many rifles as you want. You can get out there and just have fun with it and keep on trying.
I am disappointed that he didn't let Miss Leo shoot that 52D, because I think she'd have done better.
Oh, here we go,
man. I was fumbling around to turn down the audio because, man, she's in the next room. She hear that, she'll be in here in a minute. Fellas, that's the last thing I need. It's enough. I on here and everybody else on here. No, she can stay in the other room where she is.
That's another technicality you don't want to deal with right now, huh, buddy?
Exactly.
One thing I will say about the misses when it comes to the misses is the misses doesn't score targets correct. And I call her out in every damn one. Okay. And I might be the only one that does, but that's okay. I'll call her out every time. I don't care.
And I will tell you, Scotsman, she's looking forward to seeing you in person, brother. I will tell you.
Yeah, man. Well, we're gonna figure that out here soon, man. You're not that far from me. We're gonna figure that out, and hell, we're gonna shoot this challenge together, brother. We're gonna make it happen.
Exactly. Love to. We're too close together not to.
So if I can butt in just for a second, we got
Mark.
Our favorite leather maker is here. Mark Thomas, welcome, brother. Glad you could make it.
Hey, Mark.
Thanks for having me. Hello. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, you're fine. Something y'all said about going in reverse order. I'm starting to try to get into cowboy action shooting, and I did what y'all are talking about. You're supposed to shoot the 2 horizontal targets and then 1 horizontal target, then 4 on the vertical, then 1 on the horizontal and 4 more on the vertical. Well, at the last one, I did it reverse. I did the bottom, then the horizontal, then the top, and then the horizontal. 6-shooter Texan, what is that called?
It's called a P.
And it cost you
procedural 10 seconds.
So you just went from first place to the middle of the pack.
We got a badge for you. It says I peed today.
So y'all probably know that my wife is a teacher, and she's always preaching reading is fundamental. So paying attention to the instructions is it's not just a Mr. Revolver Guy 22 challenge thing. It's all over in the shooting.
All over.
Yeah, how many of your teachers in school, I know we had one, I'm sure others did, that said, saw your books off your desk except for one piece of paper and a pencil, and we're taking a pop quiz. Write your name on the top right-hand side of your page, first and last name. Now flip your pages over, we're done. And how many people would get that wrong?
Starting with the name, they wrote it on the left instead of the right.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it was, is just follow instructions.
So, Savage, I'm a revolver nut myself, as I'm assuming Mr. Revolver Guy is. I mean, it's in his dang name. I mean, so we've got a lot to talk about there. But Thorzak's brings up a good point. 2 brands of 22 ammo, CCI Standard and SK Jag Standard Plus. What you guys that are shooting these, what brands of ammo would y'all recognize? Would y'all recommend to us guys who want to get into doing what you guys are doing?
Tad, you want to go first, man?
The new high dollar Ely.
No.
I see our buddy Hasbro out there on the side chat, so I had to say that.
A hard one to answer, really, because every gun's different. So you might have a gun that likes CCI Standard, and you go to the next gun, and it won't shoot it for anything. And
mine won't shoot it.
It's just different.
I played that this weekend.
Yeah, I will tell you, for base ammo, I agree with Kentucky Rimfire. But I will say, for base ammo, if you just want to go out for base ammo, I would absolutely look at SK Standard Plus. It's some of the most cost effective. And I hear a lot of people say CCI Standard Plus. I would or CCI Standard Velocity. I would say that, like Chad, man, unfortunately, I don't have a rimfire that likes it, and I have given, quite frankly, it did not so great for me, that I've given a lot of that ammunition away to other shooters that it did shoot absolutely great for, but my rimfires just didn't like it for some reason. I've tried in a whole bunch of different rimfires, but I will tell you, for those rifles that are picky, it seems like SK Rifle Match, SK Standard Plus, those things are like, man, they're like golden, and they're pretty cost effective at that. That SK Standard Plus, sometimes depending on where you buy it, you can get it cheaper than CCI Standard Velocity. All depends on where you buy it and if it's on sale and all that kind of stuff. But I absolutely would look at SK Standard Plus, SK Rifle Match, and then if you think your rifle might shoot CCI Standard Velocity, probably start there.
Yeah, I mean, some guns will shoot CCI. Another cheap ammo to try is Norma TAC 22. It's inexpensive, and I do have a couple of guns that will shoot it very well. Funny story about SK Standard is my first Ruger Precision rimfire that I had a gentleman that showed up to one of my matches. He didn't have nothing to shoot, and I told him, I said, if you want to get into this, I'll sell you my Ruger Precision just to get you started into the matches. And he was a nephew of a friend of mine, and so I sold him the rifle. And the day we met at the range, he said, "Now, what is it like?" And I said, "Well, this is what I've been shooting in it." And he goes, "Well, this is what I got." And he had SK Standard Plus. And I said, "I've never tried that in it." We sat down and shot 3 one-hole groups. You talk about seller's remorse.
I tried a new one this weekend, herders match, and it shot pretty good.
You know, there's starting to be. It's interesting that you say that, Six, because in a few circles I run, there was actually a pretty large match. I couldn't get. I had a previous commitment at work, but you guys probably, if you've seen a few of the videos, you guys hear me talk about Bill. I call him old ball busting Bill, and he asked me to come be at a match with him. And they were going to let me film it and everything. And there was almost 40 people there, but I had a previous commitment. But having said that, he said there was quite a few Six on the line with the herders match, which I never seen. They all said they had to order it. And those guys that had it, they finished out of I think he said it was 38 people, maybe. It was supposed to be 40. I think the final was like 38 tally, I believe. And those people that were shooting at Six, they were 5th, 8th, and I think 10th or 11th. But I mean, right dead smack in the middle of the pack, and finishing above guys that were shooting, $29 ammo, a box of 50, like Ely, Tenix, and that stuff. So I think this rimfire game, to me, the rimfire game is so fun because it's easy to get into, but then two, it's a little bit of a chase. It's a little bit of a rabbit hole to find out what your rifle likes. But man, when you find out what it likes, whew, it's on then.
I just happened to go to Austin Sunday, and I went down just south of Austin, Buda, and the big Cabela's there, and just to see what 22 ammo they had that I don't get around here. And they had that and some couple others that I picked up, and I tested them all this weekend, and the herders shot pretty good.
And that's what I was getting ready to say is what Elijah might be able to buy in Ohio. I may not be able to find it here in Kentucky. So you're limited to what you can get. I mean, you have to get what works for you. And
yeah.
and
to your point,
brick of it, I don't buy it.
To your point, we see a lot of differences in lots, but we also see a lot of differences just in general in the rimfire game itself. You may get 10 or 20 shots off that are absolutely freaking excellent, phenomenal shots, and then you have this crazy flyer, and you go, what? And you don't know how. Unfortunately, that's just the rimfire game, folks.
Yeah.
You start getting into that. It's. I don't want to say it's inherently inaccurate because it can be very accurate, but it's inherently off the wall would probably be the best way to say it.
I would say, Scotsman, it can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you never know what you're going to get with it.
Go out there, Cyclops Joe.
The academies around here sell the TAC 22, but they want $7.99 a box for it, where you can get it online all day long for $4.99. And I was at the reloading store today, and he had some, but he wanted $11.99 for it. It's like, no way. And he also, this is the first time I've seen on the shelf SK rifle match. He wanted $11.99 for that too. I said, no.
Yeah, at a big box store, of course, Six, you're paying to keep the lights on, brother. I mean,
this is a small reloading store. But
oh wow. I will tell you, I'm pretty lucky here in that I have a small shop here that I can go to, and it's one of a kind. It's family owned. They know me when I was delivering Toys for Tots barrels there for the Marine Corps during Christmas.
What's the name of that shop?
What's that?
What's the name of that shop?
It is old. It is Old English Outfitters. I don't mind telling you.
Trying to find your honey hole.
I can tell you where you can get the TAC 22 for $4.99 and the match for $7.99, and it's also if you buy 4, you get one of them free, and that's
All
pyramid.
right, let me just clarify something real fast before you guys keep continuing on with prices. YouTube, we ain't selling a damn thing, so don't think we are. We're just talking. We're having a conversation. That's it.
Good call out.
Yeah, Pyramid Air sells it, and you buy 3 or 4 and get one free.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, Six. It just all depends on, where you get it from, the time, etc. I found though big box stores are you kind of paying to keep the lights on in one of those big box stores if that's the only place you can get it. But still, when you think about, even at $7.99 a box for 50, yeah, I know it's 22 long rifle, but man, you look at 223 for a box of 20. Whew, goodness gracious. And you start to move up in caliber. But that's one of the, to me, the fun things about rimfire. Again, you can help someone get into it that doesn't have the means. And generally, it inspires people to go and find means to get into it. I know an individual right now that I helped kind of get into the game, and he went and finished some education to get a better paying job to shoot 22. That's the inspiration of it. To me, that's like the holy grail, to have an individual like that wants to, that has shooting drive him to another level in his life, another chapter in his life, right? To me, you just don't get any better than that.
Well, and to that point, I would say, look, the big thing, and precisely why we do these challenges, is to get more folks on the range. It doesn't necessarily have to be rimfire, like we talked about earlier. Get folks out there. I've been in this game for, heck, what? I don't know how many years now. A long time. Many, many years. And one of the greatest things you'll ever see is someone pulling the trigger for the first time. And that smile on their face. And that understanding that it's not as bad as they thought it was going to be. And then when they pull that second trigger, they have an even bigger smile on their face. And then you just keep on going. And the more you can progress with that, the better it is. And the more we grow our community. And that is the thing that we're trying to do here. This is why we do all these different challenges and have this stuff, is we're trying to grow this community. We're trying to make this bigger. We're trying to get people to understand that the Second Amendment is not something that we're willing to throw away. This is something that was here, brought to us by our founding fathers for a good reason. And I take that to heart. Y'all know where I come from. It's in my name, so you all know where I come from. But I came here with the understanding of eventually I'm going to fight my ass off to become that citizen, be that person, and be a part of this nation. And that's where I'm at. And now my job, being here, being a citizen, is continue that fight. And so, in doing stuff like this, jumping in with my good friend over here, and doing these challenges, that's exactly what it is. We have to keep pushing this stuff out there. We have to keep getting new folks to the range. Someone in your area that hasn't been out and shot before. Go out and talk to them. Go out and grab them. Say, hey, let's go. Drag their ass along. It doesn't matter. Get them out there and get them shooting. Once they're out there and they're shooting, they'll have fun. They'll understand. They'll have a better idea of what's going on. The media put such a bad rap on the shooting community in general. You look at all the different things that are going on, and it happens every time we have an election. And we're not going to get into politics, but I'm just going to say this real fast. Every time an election comes around, guess what happens? We have shooting here, shooting there, shooting there, so on and so forth. We're seeing a huge hype in all of these school shootings and mass shootings and so on and so forth. Every single time it happens during an election. The best way we can combat the things that they're trying to push is to get people out and get them to understand what it actually is when you're on the range, what it actually is when you have that firearm in your hand, what that responsibility is as you being the one holding that, you being the person behind it. That's the best thing that we can do.
Well said, brother. Well said.
Anyone looking for Norma? Because Norma's not available around me. Cabela's used to carry it. That's about the only place that I ever found it around here, and that they just haven't had it in forever. So I've been getting it directly from Norma. You can buy it directly there. It's the same as prices that everybody was talking about.
Yep.
And they've got a couple of really premium ones as well. They got a biathlon and they've got a XT something or other, which is supposed to be their hoity-toity best brand stuff. But it's in stock right from the factory.
Let me give you a little hint too. Norma, I don't know why. This is what I've seen. They may do it more frequently. I've asked and they've not replied to me, but for some reason around Veterans Day, you can generally get Norma TAC 22 for $2.99 a box.
Wow.
And then for some reason, they offer another big sale around Thanksgiving. Those are the two that I have seen that I catch when I'm thinking about it. But I have absolutely seen, like, you can get Norma TAC 22 for $2.99 a box on sale around those two holidays.
Good tip. Good tip. It shoots pretty good for me. Surprisingly, the new barrel I put on my Ruger Precision won't shoot the Norma. I think their cases are a tiny bit longer. That's all I can think of. They go in the chamber, they fire sometimes, but they don't extract.
Yeah, JB, that's headspace, man.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that leads to like 22 and we say finding the right ammunition for your rifle. All the 22 shooters talk about finding the right ammunition for your rifle. If you look at the two major competitive brands like Lapua, or most people call it Lapua, or you look at like Ely, if you look at those two lines, they have two different types of headspace. If you were to measure the headspace, they have two different types of headspace. And so depending on what the headspace is of your bolt to your to the breech of your barrel, depending on what that headspace is, you might find a rifle like, and by the way, SK is in the Lapua brand, I think, right, Chad? Yeah, SK is in the Lapua brand now. So all that's made like on the same factory line, et cetera, et cetera. And they'll have the same headspace. And then you take Ely, they have their own headspace. The other tip that I would give you around 22 ammunition, I can't think of the name of the place. I will get the link. I got it bookmarked downstairs. I'll get the link to Crazy Scotsman. Maybe he can distribute it for us, or I'll distribute it on my mailing list. But Wolf Target, Wolf Match Extra. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'll say it here. I was reluctant to put it on my website for legal purposes and all that kind of stuff, but I'll say it here. Wolf Target, Wolf Match Extra, exactly the same as SK Standard Plus and SK Rifle Match. So SK Standard Plus is the same as Wolf Match, is the same as Wolf Target. And SK Rifle Match is the exact same as Wolf Match Extra, to the point where they're primed with the same compound, made over. I think Wolf is made by Ely, but I have a partner who I was in the military with, and he works for a 3-letter agency at this point, but he can he can he has a large database of powder under a magnifying glass scope. And so from time to time, I will take things apart and send it to him and let him take a look at it. It's the exact same powder, exact same weight between those two brands. They're the exact same line, if you will.
Yeah, that jives for me too, because I've shot most everything I can get my hands on and cataloged it and accuracy tested it, and neither Wolf, the new Wolf standard, Ely Wolf standard, or Wolf match rather, and SK standard, neither one of those will shoot for me. The lot numbers I've had, they won't shoot for me. I mean, they're okay, but they're not good like rifle matches or like long range matches in SK, and even that match extra, that shoots really nice. So that jives for me too, because they shoot about the same in my rifles. Now, of course,
So I posted Mr. Revolver Guy's video up in the side chat. Obviously, go watch it after the chat. Hang out, stay with us, enjoy the chat with us. But you can go click that link and save it for later and go back and watch it later. But hang out with us and keep on going because we got a lot to talk about. So
I would say pay attention to the head stamps too, because that we were talking about. RWS, and it's head stamped with RWS. SK is head stamped with Lapua. There's some marrying together there when it comes to different brands, but they're probably made in the same place.
well, and that's one thing to be aware of, and it's not just ammunition. It goes into all kinds of different products. So, brass is a huge one. Scopes are another huge one. You'll see so many scope manufacturers that are essentially the best way to put it would be branching out to other companies. There's all one company under an umbrella of another company. Is basically what it is. So you'll have maybe 3 different scopes that are made in the same warehouse, same factory, but it's under the umbrella of one company. And then you also have other companies, even high-end companies. I know this from back in the day when I started, between Zeiss and Swarovski and so many others, Night Force and so on. There's a lot of other companies out there that utilize the glass or some of the technologies in those other factories. And so you're buying stuff that has potentially really good options at a cheaper price, but you just don't realize where it's being made.
Yeah, that's one of my fears.
I'd like to say something too. I mean, most people already know this and, whatever, but, maybe if somebody don't or they're rewatching this show, keep it simple. Get you 4, 5, 6 different brands of ammo. And with each 22, go out there, shoot some 5-round groups. Whatever shoots the best, get you a $1 notebook, write that down. Because, like, if you have an AR type 22 long rifle, write that rifle down and what shoots the best in it. And, incite that into that ammo that shoots the best. And because I'm sure we all have had deals. I had like Remington Golden bullets that would not shoot in some of my guns. They were going to give me trouble or they were off. And then I had a rifle that was the best ammo, best groups I got, so instead of just giving that stuff away, I got that written down for that rifle. That's what shoots through that from now on, and so, just keep it simple.
Yep, that's it.
And also, it's something we all said, and we don't usually harp on it, but I like to call them cooties. We all know you got to shoot the ammo, and you got to give it. Sometimes it takes 20 rounds. Sometimes it takes half a box of ammo. But don't give up. Don't just shoot 5 and say, "Oh, it doesn't shoot great." You got to give it at least most of the box or 50, and then decide how it shoots, because you literally got to get the cooties for that ammo in the barrel before it's really going to shoot its best that it can. And then don't rely on you got to watch lot numbers, because you can shoot an ammo of one lot number and it doesn't shoot, and a year later you find a different lot number, all of a sudden it shoots. Well, Yeah, it's the same ammo, but it's not the same components. It's a different lot of powder. It's a different batch of bullets. It's a different batch of brass. It's different priming compound. Those all change things, and you could get ammo that never shot for you before, and all of a sudden it shoots.
Right. You might have got first shift or you might have got third shift. You don't know who you got. And one of them might be better than the other. And we see it all the time. And what I do, we see it all the time. You know,
Hungover Monday.
third shift produces some of the better shit. And then first shift, yeah, hit and miss. Second shift, it's kind of hit the middle of the road. And then depending on what falls on Friday, you never know what you're going to get. So, it's something you come across. I've said this for years. It's one of the biggest things I always said is it's a manufacturing process, folks. Whenever you walk into any kind of manufacturing process, there's room for error.
We're a little late for Gene's spot there, Jamie.
I know. I'm waiting to get a word in edgewise here. So, Gene, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's do this.
It's time for What's Hot Pot Got?
Hot Pot brought something for tonight for the 22 feature. It's not a rimfire, but it is a. Ooh, look at that! You can
That's
see it.
weird.
That's cool. It's a 20. Isn't that weird? Them greens are weird, man. I'm still learning them. This is a 22 Nosler. We'll keep it down here. The 22 Nosler. I found this little cartridge at work, and I thought I'd bring this in. I'm still learning the green screen stuff, folks, so bear with me, okay? I'm starting to kind of get it. Kind of. All right. This Nosler produces 6 different rebaited rim hunting cartridges. It's a rebaited rim. At the base of it, it gets a little smaller right here, so it's rebaited. The first was introduced the 26 Nosler, followed by the 28 Nosler, the 30 Nosler, 33 Nosler, and 22 Nosler, and the 27 Nosler. This one is the 22. It was designed by Nosler, go figure, designed in 2017. In January 2017, Nosler introduced the 22 Nosler. It is a 5th cartridge designed by Nosler. It is claimed that the 22 Nosler delivers 25% more case capacity and is nearly 90 ms, 300 feet faster than a 223 Remington 5.56 NATO. The 22 Nosler is designed to use the existing bolt face of an AR-15, and conversions to the caliber can be accomplished with a simple barrel swap. The shoulder is set back slightly compared to the 5.56 cartridge to prevent accidentally chambering a 5.56 cartridge in a 22 Nosler rifle. And that's what I have for What's Hot Pot Got, is the 22 Nosler.
That's pretty
cool little cartridge. I think I'd like to experiment with it. I think I'd like to get one of these. But I got a good buddy that's going to be coming on next for a special for all you folks out there. So hold on to your bootstraps.
All right, so I'd like to say a big thank you. I threw the link out there again, but I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone out there. We just went over the $1,200 mark on the fundraiser. So, guys, thank you. Literally, he threw it out there for a marginal $250, and I personally thought that was low, but I knew it'd go well above that, and here we are at the $1,200 mark, guys. Thank you so much. We came together to do this, to make this happen, and I'm very happy that we could do this because it's something that is near and dear to me. Cancer is nothing that is fun. We've seen a lot of people pass over the years, and it's one of the things that kind of got me into this whole YouTube family, if you will. When I first started YouTube, I started YouTube just because I wanted to make videos for my nephews back home. They could see what their uncle was up to, their crazy uncle, their insane uncle was doing. And then about a year into it, I met a few folks, and one of them fell hard with cancer, and we're what, almost 10 years later or so on, and it's amazing the amount of people that I've met over the years, the amount of people that have come together in this community in general. So it's just a testament to what the Second Amendment is and what people are who represent America. And the media will never show this side of it, ever. YouTube will always suppress it, but to me, this is the beauty of it. And to see this, to always see people coming together and fighting together and standing together, it's huge. Absolutely huge. I love it. And this is why I continue to this day. It's just incredible to see it. Never gets old, and I love it.
I would add there, Scotsman, is you know what, fellas? YouTube can suppress it all they like, quite frankly. They can suppress it all they like. The one thing I've noticed about this great nation is grassroots efforts cannot be silenced. That's the one reason I ask us, take one additional person with you. Take one additional person with you. Even if it's just to look, just to watch. You just want to make an introduction to the range with them, take one additional person with you. Because those grassroots efforts in this nation, I've not seen one that really goes, just stays stagnant, right? Those grassroots efforts, yeah, they all have different peaks and what have you, but they all have tried to be silenced in some way, form or fashion. So it really is up to us to get somebody out to the range with us.
Yeah, and please don't stick a 50 cal 44 Magnum in their hand for the first time. It'll just run them.
All right, so let me run off that statement, because how I started was not quite to that extent, but so when I started back in the industry, let's see, we're almost 14 years in the industry now. When I started back then, I got into it with the optics world. And I got into it because I was working on one side of the store and they needed help to mount scopes and do this and do that and so on and so forth. And they realized I had mechanical skills, so they asked me to come over and so on. So got into that part of it. And then one of the guys asked me if I've ever shot before. No, I've never shot anything. Where I come from, it's all banned. Unless you got a lot of money, you ain't shooting nothing. So they took me out one day, and the first rifle they put in my hand was a 30-06. And I will tell you, I fell in love. As soon as I pulled that trigger, oh boy, I was hooked. Absolutely hooked. And then they put a 44 revolver in my hand, and that was it. All over. I've never looked back since, folks. Never. I'm a recall junkie, and I'll take it all day long.
Young fella, I'm going to tell you right now that you're the oddity, though. Let's be real about it. There's a reason we all call you the crazy Scotsman. You put that in some new shooter's hands, man, and it can really run them away. Not all of them. Some of us really hardcore like you, Scotsman, absolutely. But I absolutely agree with American Hillbilly. You see these 50 caliber videos and all that sort of stuff, and let alone someone gets hurt the first time out because someone didn't know how to properly go about firing a pistol or rifle or something like that. Not only do you ruin their time, but you potentially I still think about, I was actually out in Las Vegas for the job when that 10-year-old girl was given a what was it? I think it was a 500 Smith & Wesson, and it was right when they were early on. And I actually had one, was out on the range with someone that did it, but you pulled the trigger and it had a really short reset. And as it was recoiling, it pushed so hard back, even though you're holding the trigger back, it just pushed so hard back, it reset the trigger and would fire again a second time. And that 10-year-old, she ended up killing the instructor that was there with her with that thing. Imagine her life. So I agree with American Hillbilly. Scotsman, you are the man. We all know that. You're a little bit off the rocker. We all know that. But yeah, I have to agree with American Hillbilly. Start out with something.
Start them with a 22.
Start them out with something fun. I agree, Six.
Yeah. You got something else for us, Gene? Gene?
Yes, I do.
There you go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Breaking news.
Breaking news, everybody. Welcome to Breaking News with Mr. Pot Hop. Got my references here. How's everybody doing out there tonight? Are we having a good evening about all this hurricane and bad, nasty weather? I blame the liberals for bringing it to us. Yes, I do. Let's see. I would like to first announce Republic Ammunition would like to thank their number 4 employee for continuing to show up and work his life away for the good of the reloading community. We'd like to congratulate Gene, Mr. Hot Pot. I'm Mr. Pot Hot, just in his place here. Let's see. In other news, exact small pistol primers and small rifle primers are now in stock. What is that you say? Oh, I've got to share that. Oh, also, tonight, Republic Ammunition is introducing a members club. For a low price, yearly price, you can get free hazmat shipping by being a member. And there'll be other specials and discounts included in the future. Go to republicammunition.com for more information and to secure your membership today. Let's see. Over. Oh, thank you for joining us tonight. And always remember to keep your shells shiny and your powder dry. Over. Back to you, Jamie.
All righty. Where we're at. What are we doing? There we are. Put your shirt on right, Gene.
Hey, Jamie, I can't come to the party without starting a good fight. So I want to start a fight, especially when I see, Cyclops Joe out there. And in my honest opinion, the best scope reviewer on the net. You got him and some other folks out there. And then with all you knowledgeable people here, I've been down this 22 rabbit hole so far that I'm going to make a statement, and I know people are going to break out the tomatoes and eggs and start throwing, especially that old squarehead over there, Chad, the old Kentucky rimfire. I truly believe that sorting 22 rimfire ammunition does help. but it depends on the way that you sort it. I've shot it all kinds of different ways. I've sorted it by weight. I've sorted it by headspace. Oh, yeah. See, Cam already chimed in. I sorted it by weight. I sorted it by headspace. But I have found it won't make like mediocre ammunition, like great ammunition. But I found like every time that I've sorted it, that I turn out better groups. But I generally sort by rim thickness and weight. I will get all the rim thickness and line them up on a piece of paper, write it down, and then I sort it by weight. Now, there's many out there that says, well, if you just buy the higher quality ammunition, you don't have to worry about that. I've even found sorting the higher quality ammunition, yes, there's less variation, but still some variation. Scotsman said it earlier, like you're shooting this high dollar stuff, and then all of a sudden you got a flyer, and it sometimes you think, gosh, with the price of this ammo, it just has to be me. Well, if you weigh that stuff, you'll find out either the Freedom Pill maybe is a little bit shorter or a little bit lighter, or the powder is a little bit short, a little bit lighter. What they primed it with is a little bit short, a little bit lighter. But I'm just wondering what everybody else think. Am I totally off my rocker, or does it help? I think it helps.
I haven't weighed them, but I've did a bunch of videos on the sorting, and I find that in my testing, really good results with the cheaper ammo, the bulker ammo, and diminished results to the point where I don't find it worthwhile with the premium stuff. Maybe it was a little better, and then I shot it again, and didn't seem so much better. The good stuff for me usually shoots good. If it doesn't shoot, the only thing I found that has made so ammo shoot better is my resizing, where I resize the bullet. Now that has made a difference for me quite a bit.
Which die are you using, JB?
I've got a couple of them. I've got a Neil Waltz die that my buddy gets to
can't
use
find anymore.
Actually, you can. He's making them again. He's given the business to, I believe it's his son-in-law. And as of, I believe it was beginning of August, he was producing and selling them.
Oh,
You can get them again. And then I met up with a guy in Michigan who was tired of not being able to get the Neil Waltz die, and he made his own. And the third one is made by our buddies down in Florida there, who we've talked about here on the show before. I've done a bunch of videos on their gas check dies and their sizing dies and a couple other things that they make. And he's making a die. Right now it's still working on the proprietary. He doesn't have it released yet, but it's working pretty good. And basically what it does is that the bullets in the 22s are so soft, you bump the nose, and it's like reforming the nose, but it bumps the diameter up just a few thousandths, and it makes it uniform. So you're shooting a uniform bullet, and you can really see it in the match chamber. You really got to push it in there. You can't run these normally. You can't run these in semi-auto. That's how big that bullet is. In a match chamber semi-auto, they'll run in a regular 1022 or something. But I tried them in my target pistols, my bullseye pistols. The chamber's way too tight. The chamber's way too tight. I can't extract a normal bullet out of that chamber. I got to drive it out from the front. If I get started. But that's just because the chamber is so tight. But yeah, the resizing, and I've got a bunch of videos on it. And I did that auto match, and that auto match shot almost in one hole in an on-shoot 64, virtually one whole group, and I did it over and over again. It wasn't just one group.
It is something that I wanted to try, but I haven't been able to come across a die. And then, like I said, Neil stopped making them. I didn't know that he had turned it over to his son-in-law.
Yeah,
I see old Thor's axe over there. He says it's really about the rim thickness. The higher cost stuff is all about consistent rim thickness. I will tell you, I've sorted Cinerex, I've sorted Midas Plus, I've even sorted Lapua Exact. And that's like the highest stuff that you can buy. And I generally find not as much variability as the lower cost stuff, but I can find three different rim. Generally, I find three different rim thicknesses in the higher stuff. Ely match, Center X, move up from Center X, even all the way up to Lapua Exact. I usually you can find them, 37 thousandths thickness, 38 thousandths, 39 thousandths. I find them in there and I sort them that way. And then after I sort them that way, I weigh them.
Okay, so
So
quick thing for
Thanks,
folks out
Tommy
there
boy.
that may not be knowledgeable to what you're talking about. When you're talking rim thickness, are you talking the very end of it, or what are you talking about exactly? Because folks out there may not know.
Gosh, I don't have a box with me, but there's a tool, and by the way, for all of us that are in this game, I know most of us are reloaders. There is an easy way to do it. Take a piece of 223 brass, size it like you're gonna fire. There you go. There you go. Chad's holding one up. But you don't even have to buy a thing, because if you're a reloader, you have everything in house you need. Take a piece of 223 brass, size it, trim it, and everything. And guess what? The whole 22 rimfire freedom pill fits down in that. It's square it off, trim it, trim the 223. It fits down on the inside. As it fits down on the inside, you put your calipers on it, and you get your rim thickness in that way. And it'll tell you 37 thou, 38 for the Lapua stuff, 37 thou, 38 thou, 39 thou. You'll see that in that rim thickness in that way. And I just sort it by that. And I've shot it non-sorted directly out of the box, sorted, different lots. Now, I say my groups with like Center X, with me shooting and the windy conditions I have to shoot in. Yeah, I'm making excuses already. But sorted stuff or non-sorted will be like 0.4-inch groups. And then you'll have the sorted stuff be 0.398, 0.397. So not that much of a difference on paper, but just looking at the target, it's a huge difference.
6-shooter texting us some recent videos on exactly what we're talking about, as do I. Mine are probably about 6-8 months old, but we both got some good videos that show a lot of really close-ups of what we're doing and how to do it and why to do it and what the results can be. So it's worth trying.
So I'll go as far as saying, I've seen a lot of guys sort the cheaper ammo. Like there's two guys at my range that shoots Federal Auto Match and CCI Blazer, and they shoot them very well, but they spend hours going through that ammo, weighing it, and rim thickness checking it, and sorting it. And if you put that kind of time into it, did you really save any money? You could have just went ahead and bought the next tier up of ammo and saved yourself all that time.
And that's where the two sides of that coin always comes into play. And that's where you get that argument from, right? It's like, well, I don't want to spend my time. And if you don't want to spend your time and you have the means to do it, then by all means, go buy the higher quality ammo. And I would advocate that every day of the week. I would say first, find the ammo that your rifle likes. And then start your improvements from there if you can by, buying the highest quality of that ammo in that lot number that your rifle likes. And then if you want, sort it, that sort of thing. But, Kentucky Rimfire, Chad, he's like, he's showing off his goods there, but he's saying, hey, I don't sort. Or he didn't say I don't sort. He just says go buy the higher. But did everybody notice he had a comparator? Anybody ask him what that for? So he's doing something with it. I don't know what it is, but he's got all the tools to do the rim thickness checking over there.
Well, I will tell you.
I have a quick question for him too.
I'll tell you what that's all about.
I'm gonna call him out a little bit. Are you Irish?
Do what now? I didn't hear that.
I said, are you Irish?
Nah, well, I don't know, maybe a little. So when I first started shooting rimfire, there was nothing on the shelves here locally competition wise other than CCI standard. And I'm all about supporting my locals. Unless it's a local that's jacking the price up and trying to take advantage of the customer, then I don't support them. I have gun shops here that I refuse to go in because they take advantage of their customers. This ammo can right here is completely full of CCI standard from when I first started shooting competition. And every piece of this ammo is rim thickness checked and weighed and marked on the box. And it works. I have a video that I did recently that showed the difference in unsorted CCI, sorted CCI, and then I shot Lapua super long range. And the difference was from unsorted to sorted, I shot 2 points higher. And from sorted to super long range Lapua, I shot 2 more points higher.
Yep.
So it don't get you a whole lot, but it will get you some.
Yeah.
I think Six has got something he wants to show us.
Yeah. I mean, this just a piece of aluminum.
That's
I forgot what size holes in this. It's just a drill size. You can drill and then drop your bullet in there, and you can measure it. It's that simple of one. I also have a prototype here. This has the different slots in it. I have a video out on it, and it's also got different bullet diameters. You can check the bullet diameter. Now, this is a prototype. The guy's planning on making them. He's already got a lot of feedback. Like these slots need to be to where you can check the bullet on the side instead of this way. Different things, but those are going to be like $40 if he sells them.
Now, a lot of you know I shoot a lot of pistol competitions. I shoot bullseye for about 40 years. And I advanced pretty high up until a couple years ago, and then I've been on a little bit of a decline. But I did quite a bit of shooting this particular summer. And outdoors shooting, I shot rimfire only this year. I didn't shoot free guns. And shooting auto match, I took second place out of about 45 or so shooters. Shooting auto match. Now these guys are shooting Lapua, Ely, super high dollar stuff. Auto match.
But did you do the due diligence and
research? I did not because this is a Benelli pistol. I can't shoot. I could rim it. I could rim sort it and weigh it, but I can't resize it because it won't function. So no, I didn't. I just took it out of the box, opened the carton, and shot it. And I got one single dud out of about 3.5 bricks, 3.5 boxes of auto match for the season. One.
The first brick of auto match I ever went and bought, it shot phenomenal. I went back and bought another brick. No.
Well, I bought like a half a carton at once, so it's all the same lot number. My buddy split a case.
I tried some federal match this weekend. First time I'd ever even seen it, and it shot like crap in my gun.
Yeah.
This stuff right here used to be cream of the crop.
That's what I tried this weekend.
I don't have a rifle that likes this at all.
Yeah.
That's the first time I'd ever seen it in the store, so I picked up some of it. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If I
There's the thing too, and I don't know, fellas. I've been digging and trying to find out like something fierce. So that federal gold medal target that Chad just held up, it back in the day, it was considered middle. It was almost considered something like
That was the white box stuff.
hold on, no, like Center X. That was gold medal target. So
okay.
then they came out, or they didn't come out, but what the Olympics was won with in the 80s a couple of times by the U.S. was federal gold medal match.
Yeah, with the dimple.
And that is the white stuff with the dimple. And you can tell, so there was a couple of variations. It was gold medal match, and on the box it was UM1. And then there was another gold medal match that was 900 on the box. That was actually two different versions. One had a dimple, one did not. And then you had the federal gold medal target. That stuff has actually been out of production for, I think, about 12 years now.
You did a video recently on that, didn't you? I thought so.
And I'm trying to figure out, like, is it because, like Chad, I found some of the federal gold medal target on the shelf here and I'm wondering, is that old stock, or are they really is federal trying to bring it back or bring some form of it back? But here's the key though. Guess what? It was all made by RWS. UM1 federal gold medal match is RWS 50. Exact same. The only difference was it was made by RWS. The only difference is JB stated it had that dimple in the firing, in the
base. Yeah, the rim.
In the base. Yep.
So I know Jamie's wanting to jump in here, but I just wanted to ask, do you think RWS is off the shelf because of the Olympics right now? Because it's nowhere to be found.
I will tell you now. So that small gun shop I was telling you about, I don't know how they got the pull that they have, but they'll have Ely guys show up there. They'll have Lapua guys show up there, Chad. They have reps show up there all the time. We were told, I was there in the small circle of guys. There's about 4 of us standing around talking to him. And this was, I don't know, a month or so ago. And he said that Lapua was changing out hardware. Some of the machines that actually stretch the brass and make the brass casings, they were changing out hardware, and he thought it might be 6 to 8 months before we see any more of that. But RWS, I'm not quite sure, because it's not made by Lapua at all. It really is its own separate thing.
Guys, I hate to interrupt such a fast-paced conversation, but it's way past time for our verse of the week, if y'all allow me a minute. Okay. Last week we talked about Colossians chapter 1, verses 15 through 17. I'll recap that right quickly, and we'll move on to our one verse this week. So we read there that he is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For by him all things were created that are in heaven and that are on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created through him and for him. Verse 17, and he is before all things, and in him all things consist. And we talked about what all that means. And then tonight we want to talk about verse 18, which is going to be a little controversial, but I'm a big boy. We can take it. And he is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he may have preeminence. What we're reading here is Jesus is still the head of the church. The church was created for him, just like we read in the previous verses, that all things were created for him. And the big takeaway here is the body is the church. Body being the body of believers, those who have put their trust in Christ Jesus for their salvation, and hopefully as a model of how we should live our lives. And when I talk about this, I like to say the church, capital C, universal, because it's God's church. And what we see here, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead. Okay, remember what we talked about last week is before anything was, Jesus was with God. Jesus is not a created being. He is the human form of God the Father. So when we say the firstborn from the dead, he was firstborn from the dead because he was the first person raised from the dead, except for those who he himself raised from the dead. And we can read in the Bible and find 3 to 4 different occurrences of that happening. But what that's really talking about here is the next phrase, that in all things he may have preeminence. So when we call him firstborn, we are not even putting him underneath God the Father. We are giving him equality with God the Father in all things. He has preeminence. And what does he have preeminence over? Go back to the first part of the verse, the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead. And thank you, Christ Jesus. Thank you, God the Father, for giving me those words. Any questions or comments about that?
No, sir.
I'll jump in there, Jamie. I do believe that verse also is somewhat referring to the head of like a source of authority and being in control, and knowing that he's in control all the time is somewhat how I have seen that taught and referred to. And that's one thing that I lean back on all the time, Jamie, whether it's, good, bad, and different. First and foremost, every day of my life, I give thanks and give him all the praise, even for the bad times, because those bad times are going to bring me out and make me anew on the backside. I'm convinced of it. And so to me, that kind of refers to the head being like a form of authority and also always being in control.
Amen. And think about this. What if you had a sunrise or a sunset without any clouds? You get all of those colors from the clouds and all those magnificent hues. So what would life be if we didn't have tough times every once in a while? And we're Mr. Revolver Guy's family down in Florida, as we have up here, and Garage Guy's going through it right now. The hard times in life help us to appreciate the good times, and that make them that much sweeter. And I appreciate that, man. Great way of looking at that. He is in control. And like I said when I started, I just thank him for getting us through this storm as easy as we had it. And that's a good point there, Hasbro. Good point. Good stuff. Hillbilly, you got something on your mind?
I always got something on my mind, just people don't want to listen sometimes. What's you and Revolver Guy had both said, totally agree. And like I said, there's some great stuff out there on the side chat. It always brings me back to the Alpha, the Omega. And on that situation. Not only is he the one, the firstborn, the head and all that. Our Lord's also the beginning and the end, and I agree with you when if everything was, sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns, we probably would have hard time appreciating the blessings that we receive and that we should give the Lord the glory for. And so,
Very good, very good.
Yeah, one last thing there, Jamie, and Hillbilly kind of made me think of it. I'm not sure why, but he promised us eternal life. I can't find anywhere in the good book where he promised it would be easy.
On the contrary, brother. On the contrary. But we're going to get into that a little bit next week as we get into some wisdom thoughts for the crazy Scotsman, and we're going to beat up on Proverbs a little bit here for a few more weeks, and yeah, good stuff, guys. Thanks for your input. And guys, what a discussion about 22 LR, about these challenges, and even how we can help people who are less fortunate than us as we're doing this. If you're on the YouTube side, there is the comment of how you can make your donation. It's pinned at the top. You should be able to see that. I want to thank Tactical FUD for putting up the Mr. Revolver Guy's website, so you can go and download and print some of these challenge targets. I've got to get some 22s in good shooting order, and I'll be joining you. Chad, you got anything to say about the verse of the week, brother?
No, I totally agree with you guys. He is the head, and if he's not in it, then we're in the wrong place.
Absolutely.
Well, if we're going to talk next week about wisdom, I might not be on this. Might not get invited to this panel next week.
I know the guy that sends the invite, so maybe you will. Mark Thomas, what's your favorite 22 ammunition?
Oh, I was going to say I like to buy a bunch of those golden bullets and Gila and the cheapest stuff, so that I got all kinds of excuses for my shitty shooting.
Well, we're getting about 10 minutes.
Playing music.
Do what?
I said, if you're shooting golden bullets, you're playing music.
Yep.
Yeah.
Different tone every time you fire the trigger.
No, real good discussion. Real good discussion tonight. Lots of good stuff. I love to shoot 22. It doesn't matter what I got. Herders, the high dollar stuff, whatever. It's fun to get out there and plink. That's probably one of the favorites of both me and my son. Take it to the range and just have a good time all day and not worry about it. So that's what I got to say. So we're clear in the room. Thanks for having me. It's been a wonderful evening. Been looking forward to it all week. Jamie, I'm so glad you're safe. Good to hear that all of our other friends, garage guys, in good order. I got some family down in Florida that I still haven't heard from, so I'm sure they're okay. But just we're all blessed that you're all okay. Happy to have that. Thanks for having me.
Well, we appreciate you being here. And we'll just keep going through the room then, and I'll say something about my 22s at the end. So Hillbilly, we let Hillbilly usually go first or second there because he's got to go help Gizzard Gary, who will be up next. And I'm sure he's getting ready to put the link up to Gizzard Gary's hen party tomorrow, later, as soon as we get off. So y'all hang around. What you got coming up this week, brother?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just put out the link there. Well, we're gonna be shooting I think some more 22 this week. You know, I shot the washing machine yesterday, had a video with it talking about home defense, and seen a big difference in ammo doing that. Some of them, we had a few just bounce off the washing machine and leave a dent. And so with the comments and everything, they're like, well, and I knew this and I totally agree with them. It's like, well, if you use this ammo, then there's going to be a big difference. And, you know, what I did there, I shot like 4 rounds of better ammo through it, and it had no problem penetrating it and no problem ejecting the ammo. So we might revisit that this next week or something. I'm not 100% for sure. But, of course, tomorrow night, we have my last show in the podcast, Guns, Beer, and Therapy, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. So if you're not doing anything, come by and visit us. We'd love to have you. And, yeah, thank you so much for having me tonight. But, yeah, I'm going to get doing some of these challenges. It's long past due, and so I've kind of thinned out some of my YouTube schedule to where I can kind of do some of that now. And really appreciate you guys having me. And Gary's up next. And there was something else I was going to say, but I cannot remember now. I was waiting for the end to say it. But anyway, I guess it wasn't
Cooter?
that.
Anything about Cooter?
Oh, I know what I was wanting to say. If you guys are, you know, out there in the side chat or whatever, if you've been in the line of this hurricane and stuff, you know, throw something out there so we can all keep you guys in your prayers, or if you have family. And we're already praying, but it always helps, I think, you know, to pray specifically for a person or a family. So please throw those out there in the side chat, you know, and we'll keep you in your prayers for sure.
Absolutely. And you can email me at jh586sw@gmail if you've got a prayer request, and we should start a prayer chain email amongst us all and
Exactly.
keep that passed around. So I want to thank Kentucky Rimfire and Mr. Revolver Guy. Which one of you guys want to go first?
I'll go. It don't matter.
All right. Thanks for being here, man. What you got coming up this week?
I'm going to lay low on the Show Me the Money challenge there and give Elijah the chance to catch up. And I got some other challenge targets I'm going to try. And I've also got a new rifle that I brought home.
I saw that. Really, really nice.
So got some testing to do there. And I want to name off some other groups here that put out some of these challenges, so it ain't just about us. There's several others that do it too, and I may miss some, and if I do, I apologize, but I got a little list wrote down here. Long Rifle, Walnut and Steel, Bobcat Forever, No Pro, Country Rimfire, 6-Shooter Texan, B Fox 87, J Delta 22. Guys, watch their YouTube, and their emails are usually posted to where you can get in touch with them to obtain the targets to shoot. And you don't have to video these things and put your video up there. You can simply just send a picture of your target in and have it posted. It's not about making the videos. It's just about getting out there and trying your skills and spending time with your family and camaraderie. I appreciate this guy over here for what he does. I'm just here to shoot the challenges, but this guy right here puts in the work. So with that being said, I'll pass it over to him.
Uh-oh. That's never any good, fellas.
Siren and
I'm
everything.
gonna have to keep it short because that's actually the job, fellas. I think what I'll say is I'll tell you what I got going on, but first and foremost, I want to thank you, fellas, like you would not believe, every single one of you. Not for shooting the challenges either. This is like coming home to me. I haven't seen some of you fellas in a while, and shame on me for being distant. But calls like that one that I got to get on and stuff like that. Life happens, but I want you to know that I don't forget a face. Sometimes I struggle with a name from time to time, but all you fellas have had a part in helping me do this thing on YouTube that I do, and I want to say thank you for that. Secondly, if you find it in your heart, listen, if you don't got it, don't donate. Crazy Scotsman, he's read it out. I didn't even know the thing was above 1,200 already. But if you find it in your heart, two great foundations with St. Jude's and the Pink Fund. And I want to make a video with Scotsman. What's coming up for me in the future is I really want to nail Scotsman down and really want to get out and make a video with him. We're far from each other, but at this point, I'm ready to make a drive. He's ready to make a drive. Don't really care to me. I want almost, I guess I'll let the secret out, but I kind of want a video for he and I to be the closeout video of the challenge. That challenge is going to run for 45 days to raise as much as we possibly can for both those great foundations. And again, thank you, fellas. Hats off to you all for keeping me humble and guiding me this direction. Really appreciate you.
Okay. Thanks for being here, both of you. And if you guys are ever free on Friday night and you want to come back, shoot me an email. I want to hear you ain't got my email address because you got my email with the link in it. So thank you guys, both of you. So, Six, you ready? What you got coming up this week?
Oh, we got some Cowboy shooting in the morning. So we'll do that. I'm going to shoot a new category. Hopefully I can be all right with that one. I'm going to shoot frontiersman.
Oh, black powder, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to shoot percussion pistols in the morning. So
that's going to be so cool.
You got to shoot them one-handed too. So that's going to be neat. I got another Show Me the Money video coming up Sunday morning, air gun edition. Y'all need to get out and shoot those things. You know, like I said, you don't have to record the video, but, you know, shoot it. And if you feel like donating, donate some. So it's worth the money. I do have a couple more ideas for targets myself. I just hadn't put them together yet. We'll be doing that soon. So other than that, that's about all I've got. So whoever's next, Gene?
Send me those targets.
Yep.
There he is. Go ahead, Gene.
Yep. I want to thank Kentucky Rimfire and Mr. Revolver Guy for coming on tonight. That was really informational. I learned a lot by listening. I did not know about the checking all the rims and the weights and all these things of the 22s. I don't have any favorite 22 ammo. Whatever's cheapest is what I've always just bought and shot. So I might look more into this. My local FFL has a lot of 22 precision rifles. I mean, there's a lot of good gamers around this area. And I just haven't dabbled into it because I've been shooting so much USPSA. 9mm has been my life for the last 2.5 years. Dabble in other stuff, but mainly 9mm. But I do want to give prayers out to everybody in the South. I have a lot of good brothers and sisters that live in the southern states. And I want to give a lot of prayers out for them. I have contacted them. Everyone I personally know is okay and safe, which is a good thing. I couldn't get a hold of my pops, but I did get a hold of his daughter, and she let me know that he's okay. The cell phone service is down in that area as well as the landlines where he's at. So that'll be back up and running soon. But I do want to remind everybody out there, Republic Ammunition is going to start a members club. And for a small fee, yearly fee, you get free hazmat shipping all year long. Whether it's one order or 100 orders, it doesn't matter. It's free hazmat all year long with this member deal. So if you go to republicammunition.com, there'll be information on there about it, how to join it, and what the fees are. And I discussed it today with my boss, and the fees are very, very reasonable for someone that's going to do a lot of ordering for a lot of supplies. So you'll definitely get your funds back very quickly this way. Other than that, man, I hope everybody has a blessed weekend. Thank you very much for having me on. I greatly appreciate you all. And you know what? It's only once around the ride, so always remember to keep blowing the smoke.
Good deal, Gene. Thanks for being here, brother. And that's very encouraging. It's good to know that somebody out there in the business is actually thinking about their people.
My boss is a good man.
He sure seems to be. Scotsman, what you got coming up this week, my brother?
All right. Well, I'm hopefully going to get out and shoot my own damn challenge. As long as shooting the Captain America challenge, I hope to get out and shoot that too. I am feeling a little bit better for folks that are wondering. This week has kind of been up and down. But as of this morning, I've been feeling a little bit better to where I think I can get out and do some shooting. So hopefully tomorrow I can get out and do that, weather dependent and so on and so forth. So hopefully we can do that. Other than that, guys, I just encourage you all, please jump in on these challenges. Jump in supporting these folks that are throwing them out there. Doesn't necessarily have to be me and Elijah, but there's tons of folks out there. Kentucky Rimfire brought them up earlier. Jump out and just have fun, man. And again, you don't always have to post a video, post a target. Just have fun with it. And if you can get someone else to the range and introduce them and get them going, the more the better, man. We're in one of the biggest struggles of the fight we're ever going to have or ever see, more than likely. And if you guys haven't been paying attention to what's going on, they just passed more gun control. So you really got to pay attention to it. They keep slipping them in the back door, and if you ain't watching, it's just going to end up taking over. And the best thing we can do is stick together and keep fighting and keep pushing and keep driving. And that's all you can do. And end of the day, be prepared, be ready. Know your ranges, know where your target's at, and be ready to pull that trigger if you got to. And as always, stay safe, stay vigilant. And I appreciate you all.
Well, thanks, Scotsman. We appreciate you, brother. Awesome target. I got to get busy and get started, and I will if Mark Thomas will. No pressure or nothing. Mr. Jailbird, CW, what's going on, brother? Great show tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, it was real good, real good. And we could certainly continue it. We've got other people that doing these kind of things, and we could have some interesting talks. So it'd be good to really do that. This took off, and we kind of cut it short because of our verse of the week. So maybe it is part 2 in the future. I want to thank everybody on the panel, and especially everybody in the side chat. You guys rock, really awesome. Nothing coming up for me because I'm banned, so I got nothing. But I do have a Rumble channel, and that's getting loaded up with videos all the time. So check me and all the rest of these guys. I believe have Rumble channels as well. So check us out over there. There is other avenues and other places to get your viewing pleasures in. So have fun, be safe. Great seeing everybody tonight. Good seeing you, Chad. Good meeting you. Good watching your videos. And I want to see more from that Winchester 52. That's a beauty.
Yes, it is. Like the black T-shirt, CW, by the way. Okay, I have a Marlin Model 60. I have a Winchester Model 150, and I have the Savage pump bolt gun, and then a couple of single shots that I could do this 22 stuff with. So I'm gonna get these out, get them all lubed up, get some scopes on them, and yeah, thank y'all for being here. And remember to stay in prayer for those that are still in the path of the storm. There's a little ball game going on tomorrow in Central Alabama. Go Dogs! We hope the Lord blesses you all real good. And if He's willing, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good